Anyway, all right, while we're eating, let's watch this. This is Russia, the possibility of Russia using nuclear weapons.
Way before we invent something that is capable of the type of intelligence you're talking about.
I think you're right. So
And
you
the
think
opportunities
they'll use that to blow
and the
everybody up?
opportunities to destroy ourselves are going to be so multiple because the world is getting so much more complicated all the time.
Yeah.
Right? The number of things that can go wrong
Who's this dude?
is much bigger than in the past. Right? 5,000 years ago, there was no technology that could have destroyed.
It's possible to turn off subs.
You want to turn off subtitles?
Yeah.
Turn
Or turn on?
on.
Turn on.
Why?
Because for me it's difficult to understand.
It's easier for you to understand without subtitles?
Yeah. I can read and I understand.
No,
oh, you want me to turn it on?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm the same way. That's why I was like, what the fuck? You want it off?
No, on.
Yeah. Who is this fucking guy? Francis Foster and Konstantin Kisin of Trigonometry. I don't know what these guys are,
By
but
the planet.
Kissing sounds Russian.
Now there is. Right?
Right.
And that is going to continue. Our ability to destroy the planet is only going to get greater. It's going to take a smaller mistake to destroy the planet as technology gets more sophisticated.
So you feel it's just human nature that if we have control of artificial intelligence, the first thing it's going to do is devise weapons of insane
No.
destruction.
We are going to devise the weapons using artificial intelligence before there is any overarching artificial intelligence that could take care of us. Do you see what I'm saying?
So you're saying the kind of artificial intelligence that's already available, not like general artificial intelligence, which is what they think of as like a sentient being.
Yeah. I mean, like stuff
Yeah.
that we can do to, like YouTube
I see what you're saying.
algorithms or
So
whatever.
I don't think we disagree. So you're
Yeah.
saying that this artificial intelligence that's in place right now, that they already use for a lot of things,
Yes.
is going to be used and make weapons, and it's going to be...
irony is that they're talking about the YouTube algo as machine learning technology or AI, and that is quite literally
Is correct?
the reason why they're fucking famous. Like, these guys pump out a lot of like right-wing material on YouTube. And that right-wing material, or like all the extremist guests that Joe Rogan has had throughout the years, is unironically the reason why he's fucking famous, because of that YouTube algo. So they're self-aware.
Joe Rogan's often to speak about mushrooms, right?
Yeah, he used to. That was when he was at his chillest, when he would talk about fucking mushrooms and shit, and not about white supremacy.
Overwhelming. We're going to use them, and we're going to use them on each other. We're going to blow each other up.
Yes.
I prefer
And if
him
we
when he talks
don't,
about aliens and
artificial
mushrooms.
general intelligence is what I'm talking about.
Oh, if we don't
Artificial-
destroy ourselves,
I'm
I'm
talking
just
about-
convinced we are. That's all.
We may. You're
fucking
right.
God.
We've dropped
When
bombs. I mean, whenever talks
people,
about any...
hear people talking about destroying ourselves, I prefer to watch Noam Chomsky.
But it
At
talks
least
about
you got
anything
that.
that anyone's
Yeah,
done anywhere in the world. When they talk about horrific things, I always go, dude, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that is insane.
Yeah.
That was a
Booze too much?
completely untargeted city. In the sense that like there's not like there's an army there and they're shooting at us and we're shooting. No, they just nuked cities. The kind of death and destruction that must have happened on those days, to be a person who's an innocent person living on this regime in this city, and know that the consequences for something that you've done nothing to, all you've done is live your life.
Yeah.
All you've done is work in a market. All you've done is do whatever you've been a farmer. And then
have
your
a plan?
entire
What do you do?
world is obliterated instantaneously by an atom bomb
Must
for the
in the
first
background.
time in human history. And it's
I
happened in
never
your
just
fucking city.
stare.
Well, you know what?
And just
In
watch
terms of
it.
the
What
bombings,
about you?
Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
What?
And they were talking if we have time to watch YouTube and saying that I like to watch it on the background if I do something else.
Yeah.
But I really just, sit and watch.
But I do like that I can't increase their mics. Their mics are maxed out right now. Okay, I'm sorry. This is what you're gonna get. It's not gonna be your favorite. It's not gonna be the type of content that you're used to. This is it. Okay. Please stop crying in the chat, please. I beg. It's like my job, unironically, is like being a babysitter to 30,000 children. Some of these people are unironically fucking adults. Like they have like full blown adults with wives and children. But when they get into the chat, they literally turn into a bunch of babies.
Yeah.
They sound
And
like
it's
babies.
wild.
But what's the thing? So normally people who come to your podcast, they talk more loud.
No, it's not that. It's that the microphones have a limitation, and we're currently at its max. It's just, but also this is the reason why I'm not reading the chat when I have guests on.
Nagasaki weren't really that big a deal.
The audio is
comparison
loud
to
on
the
the,
firebombs.
on
In
the
comparison to
YouTube
the
video. That's why
firebombs,
they're
in comparison to
freaking
what
out.
the Germans were doing in the Soviet Union.
I understand, but there's a thing about the instantaneous
Yes.
nature
Yes.
of those bombs that was uniquely terrifying,
Yes.
which is why we haven't used
Also,
it.
Joe
Yes.
Rogan is right
Agreed.
Do you have
about
a fear
nuking
that
Japan.
Putin
He's
would use one?
correct on that.
A
His take is
nuclear
good.
weapon?
Yes.
So when I was on Question Time, that program of Francis, they asked me this question.
He's Russian.
And they said, if pushed,
Maybe.
would he use them? Now, my understanding of the word pushed is
Very good.
if he feels that his life is in danger. That's what I mean by pushed.
Right.
I think in that situation, he would use them. However, that does not mean that they would end up being used. He may press the button, but the signal might not get to the destination. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
There is a team of, it's not just a button that releases nuclear weapons, there's a bunch of people in between,
Right.
right? And if some of those people think,
This was a classic argument during the Cold War where they would say, unironically, like, oh, even if fucking the
Yeah.
USSR was interested in like nuking America, maybe there were people that would stop. It's just cope. It's literally copium. Especially considering that, that did happen once during the Cold War. It happened once, but that there is no guarantee that it will happen again, especially considering that America has literally engaged in using a nuclear weapon, an atomic bomb in Japan.
Watch Doctor Strangelove.
that they have a chance of survival, that this is a personal thing against the leader. What is their rationale for pressing?
America had no problem dropping the atom bomb, and America has also accidentally fucking misplaced nukes too. Not only that. So using that as a final reliability or a final measure, and nuclear saber rattling, specifically because they just won't do it, is fucking insane. That's not how you can cut policy.
I do not trust people who use this
Pressing
type
that
of
button down the
curtain.
line.
How
Yeah,
Terrifying.
he's
Because
got a
the
magician
answer is
curse.
death.
few people.
But the answer is death, right? If you're in
Yeah.
that situation, your family, your kids is going to burn to ashes
I
or
think the only
die
person
in a
who can use this
radioactive wasteland.
curtain is David Lynch.
So why would you push that button
Love that.
if you felt there was any chance of survival at all?
That is one of the biggest fucking sources of anxiety for people, is the idea that we're living in this conflict that we have zero control over that might lead to a global thermonuclear war at
Yeah.
any moment in time. The wrong buttons might get pressed and the wrong people might get mad, or the wrong military decisions might get made, and someone just tries to fucking do something wild. And we didn't really think that was a possibility until this Ukraine invasion.
Yeah.
I think the Ukraine invasion opened up a lot of people's eyes, because there's so many
When
people
you
from
was in
Ukraine that have
Russia,
relatives in
do you
Russia
think
and vice
it's-
Yeah.
versa.
Yeah.
It's not like you're
In
What?
Russia?
What was your question?
I
What
mean,
was your question? Can you repeat it?
I asked her when she was in Russia, feel she like safety in this country or no?
Did you feel safe in
No.
Russia?
I don't know. I mean, well, I was attacked multiple times. I was thrown chemical liquid in my face, and I was whipped. So no, I did not. And I developed actually. I do not like to think about risks for my life all the time, because otherwise you go insane. But I started to notice, even if I'm in a subway and somebody approaches me, I just jump.
Yeah. I didn't feel too, because porn is illegal in Russia, and you doing something not normal, like. But I don't like a police in Russia. Like, you feel not comfortable when you see the police guy, and
I
you
hate them.
you want to run, but it's you don't have any legal with you. you don't do something wrong, but
Exactly.
you feel afraid. I don't know why. It's only in Russia I'm feeling like this. He is okay.
I generally do not like police, but yeah, Russian police is really special. I remember when I was a kid, my dad would always cross the street and we have policemen approaching towards us, and we did not do anything illegal, like nothing. But he would always cross the street and go to the opposite
He
side.
can do it all. What?
This guy said police are good here. Yeah, totally, man. I don't know where you're at, but if you're talking about America, you're also completely wrong. This is why people say ACAB is a universal concept. Policing as an institution is flawed because whether you're in Russia or you're in the United States of America, cops are enforcing the laws that were created by people that don't have your best interests in mind 90% of the fucking time. Oh, they were being sarcastic. Oh, okay.
13, 12.
In Ukraine, it's difficult too because it's illegal porn too. And my friends, I have a lot of friends from Ukraine, and they are porn actors. And policemen went to their house and said that we know what you're doing. Give me money, or give me your money. It's not normal.
Yeah.
It's so fucking crazy, and they did it, and it's not normal. And the policeman went to every years to them and give money every.
It's
So they extort
No,
them.
not give, like просит деньги.
but they ask for money. They
Bribe.
basically ask for a bribe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, so it's illegal to produce porn.
Распространять.
To disseminate, yeah. I don't know, disperse porn. I remember when that law was about to be signed in Ukraine, I had a friend, and he made an action in front of Rada, which is Parliament of Ukraine, and he staged public sex act in front of Ukrainian Parliament. He was arrested for that. He spent in jail like 6 months. He was released after, but it was a big case. I think, like, to me, it's insanity that porn can be illegal somewhere.
It is wild, especially because like we know everybody, like a lot of people watch it. You know what I mean? Not every single person, but like most people fucking watch porn. They consume sex work in one way, shape, or form. Civil asset forfeiture, they don't gotta ask here. Yeah, I mean, cops do this in America as well, but I say this all the time. In America, we like to orientalize other countries. And we say, oh, that's bribery, that's barbaric, right? We say, oh, that's bribery, that's barbaric. We don't have that here. That's corruption.
Well,
Except we codify we make it legal to do bribery.
no, that's fucking insane what
Yeah.
you do here.
Corporate lobby.
Lobbyism is
Yeah.
yikes. Is big yikes.
I mean, and the same thing you just described with cops stealing money, like taking money, it's called civil asset forfeiture. So they are legally allowed to do the things that you were referencing. So when it's legal, all of a sudden, it's just not as barbaric. It's not outside of the legal system. But one may consider that to be even worse than fucking it being outside of the legal boundaries. Just like we only call it an oligarchy if it happens in Russia, but if it's in America, when you have the Koch brothers, when you have the Walton family, when you have all of our fucking wealthy oligarchs here in the United States, that's not oligarchy. Those are just billionaires.
I was invited to a libertarian conference once, organized and paid by Koch brothers.
Yeah.
And then, so I took 50% of the money up front, and I used those money to fund my independent media outlet I have in Russia. Is called Media Zona. And so I came on stage. I think it was in Washington, and it was 2016 when Bernie Sanders was still running for running. He wanted to be a candidate, right? So I came to his office and I took a T-shirt and took their blessing. I was like, do you think it's going to be funny if I appear at a libertarian conference in this shirt? And they were like, yeah, fuck yes. and I came to the conference. They were so mad. I came first in a jacket, and then I unbuttoned it, and then they asked me, you can talk about freedom as much as you want, you can talk about liberties, but please do not talk about economy. And the only thing I talked about was financial inequality in healthcare. Those people who invited me to that conference were so mad. So I obviously did not get my second half of the money, but I got my 10K from Koch brothers.
I love how libertarians who love talking about free speech or trying to limit your speech around like what
That's
you
so
can say.
cute. Yeah, they were like, do not talk about economy. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
How surprising. But yeah, I want to see the possibility of Russia using nuclear weapons. Let's see.
You might be at war with your own people, like
Yeah.
people that you are literally related to.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's crazy.
I have family on both sides.
It's wild. The idea is wild, and the idea that the country has such extraordinary control over the narrative of what the people know about and hear about.
Well, 80% of Russians get their news from TV, and the message is
We're
very
planning to
consistent
escape,
and very clear. We're about to.
What?
We're planning to escape.
So yeah.
Oh, you guys want to leave? You don't have to stay here.
I mean,
at
not
all.
like right now, but
You can leave whenever. Is no problem. I wanted to make sure you guys got food though, because I know you were starving. So
it was
I.
great. No, I feel so much better. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No, let's stay for a while. I mean, I enjoy it. We just want to make sure that we go see our friends as well.
Stop forcing girls to watch Joe Rogan and listen to my life advice. Yeah, man. Please give me more.
It is difficult to listen to Joe Rogan. I had several attempts to listen to his podcast, but I struggle every time. I just do not find him fascinating or interesting, or even smart. To be honest,
This is a meta. Like in this community is that I have girls on and then I make them watch Joe Rogan.
no. Let's
It's a
continue. Yeah.
It's a tradition.
To be attacked. NATO is about to destroy us. Ukraine's full of Nazis and all of this stuff. Completely baseless. But that if you feed people that line long enough, that's what they're going to believe.
How do you think this plays out?
I think anyone who attempts to predict this is bullshitting, man. No, you can't predict things like this. Right now, the situation is Russia is inching forward. Both sides are losing a lot. I think what the Russian strategy is to wait until winter. That's what I'm being told. To hold out until winter, and by winter they think they can persuade the Germans to essentially sabotage the Western efforts to stop them. I think that's their plan. How that goes, how do we know? We can't predict that. And in the meantime, it also depends on what's happening on the ground, right? It depends on what Russia is going to do. It depends on what the Western powers do in terms of providing weapons and ammunition and all of that. So we've got no idea at all.
It's so wild. And when you hear the government bragging about how much money they're sending over to Ukraine to help fight the Russians, it's like, maybe you should shut the fuck up about that. Maybe that one you might want to keep under your hat.
Yeah, oh, you mean in terms of talking about it public?
As I've said before, just because this is something that is a positive for Ukrainians, like sending weapons into Ukraine,